It gives me great pleasure this morning to introduce a fellow veteran and Legionnaire. He was born and raised in Illinois. After he graduated high school, he served his community as a firefighter and later served his country as a U.S. Marine. Since then, he has worn many hats. He ran his family's trucking business, opened a small business with his wife, served in local and state government, and eventually got elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 2014. He served as ranking member of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs and is now chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable Representative Mike Bost.
Thank you. So let me just first off by saying good morning, Legionnaires. It is an absolute honor to be here in person to speak with you today, and not doing through a video, by the way. I am a Marine Corps veteran, member of the Murfreesboro, Illinois American Legion Post 127. I'm a proud part of an organization that has so dutifully upheld that sacred motto, for God and country. That is what makes the Legion great, and it's the people who make it up. Former soldiers, airmen, sailors, and for the Marines, well, you know there's no such thing as a former Marine. As always, it says that once a Marine, we're always a Marine. Well, I want to thank all of you and those who have stepped up to serve once again. You know, it's a privilege to share the title of veteran and Legionnaire with each of you. You know, you continue to serve this nation and veterans communities, and it does not go unnoticed. This Congress, I am humbled to serve as chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee. I am amazed that I'm here. I'm just a son of a truck driver from Southern Illinois, and it is a tremendous honor to be selected by my colleagues to lead this committee. And I'm thrilled to be doing so alongside of a stellar group of members. And many of them are veterans that serve on this committee that I am chairman of. And I can't wait to see what we'll accomplish this session. Now, I do not take this role lightly. The work we do is very personal to me, just as it is to each of you and your families. I think we can all agree that getting the Bipartisan PACT Act over the finish line and signed into law was one of the largest victories in last Congress. As you know, the legislation was long overdue, and it will have a direct and a positive impact on millions of veterans suffering from toxic exposure. However, getting the PACT Act signed into law was only the first step. I want to thank every Legionnaire in this room for helping push this legislation through. Believe me, it wasn't easy. But as chairman, I need to ensure our committee closely oversees the PACT implementation to ensure that it fulfills its promises to our veterans and their families. We cannot have a situation where the claims and backlogs grow and the veterans waiting too long for their care. I will not let that happen on our watch, and I know that you'll help me make sure that does not happen on my watch. We will also conduct important oversight of the current VA DoD electronic health records rollout. And I say that with tongue in cheek. I'm sorry. This is one of the biggest debacles we've ever seen, and the veterans that are affected by it. But there is a strong bipartisan consensus that we must get the system right for the veterans and the VA medical staff. Now, I look forward to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to ensure that this program is successful. Now, I'm certain that many of you here today, having transitioned out of the military yourselves, would agree the importance of a successful transition from active duty to civilian life cannot be overstated. Luckily, we've made progress since when I left the Marine Corps in the early 1980s. Safe to say that we did not exactly have a TAP program when I left. What I got was a tap on the back and said, "See you later." You know, this Congress, we will identify on ways to improve that we can make to the TAP program to ensure that service members are empowered with the tools and support that they need to lead successful lives as civilians. Empowering veterans is a big priority of mine, which is also why we are working to fund Speaker McCarthy's Vet Tech program. Now, this pilot program has helped thousands of veterans find high-paying jobs in the tech industry. It has a 70% success rating on placements, which is an amazing, I know 70% sounds good, but it's an amazing when it comes to a government program. I just wish that, we've all served, we understand that. But I want to make the program permanent and create more like it. You know, optimizing the veterans' health care will also be a big priority of the committee and the Republican conference. Too many veterans are still waiting too long for care and cannot get community care across this country, which is why I appreciate how strongly you have continued to advocate for our community care access. This is vitally important so that veterans can access the care that works best for them, not for the VA, but for them. Veterans should be in the driver's seat when it comes to deciding their health care. And we will not stop fighting until this is a reality for every single veteran. I thank you for your continued support of my bill, H.R. 705, the Veterans Second Amendment Protection Act, that has also been instrumental to veterans who should not be unlawfully stripped of their due process and potentially lose their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. As you all know, many cases, this fear prevents veterans from seeking the care that they need at the VA in the first place. Now, I hope my colleagues on the other side of the aisle will come to the table and work with us to end this predatory practice. The number of veteran suicides per day will continue to be high until that number reaches zero. We have to work to make sure that number reaches zero. Mental health is not a one-size-fits-all approach, which is why we must continue to tear down the stigma surrounding and asking for help. Now, I'm grateful for all of you and your continued advocacy for the community-based mental health services, which help us to do exactly that. You know, the American Legion does great work to help veterans access mental health services that work for them, and I commend you for that. Now, we share the same goals for veterans community, and I look forward to continuing to work with my fellow Legionnaires. And I am confident that what we will accomplish together will leave American veterans better off than before. And at the end of the day, and at the end of my time of being chairman, that is what we are all fighting for. I know that the group of men and women in front of me right here is a good group that have that fight in mind. And I thank you for your service to our great country, and I thank you for your work, and I thank you for your tireless dedication to those who have worn the uniform. Now, I appreciate you and all having me here today, and I wish you the best of luck in your convention. God bless you, God bless our troops, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.